suppressed by acts of violence, acts of war and brutality, and acts of parliament for far, far too long. I rise to speak for all of the generations of te iwi Māori that have gone before us, and for all of the generations of te iwi Māori that will come after us, to reassure them that the taonga tuku iho, our taonga tuku iho, the treasured intellectual and spiritual taonga of our ancestors will never be silenced. That the mana of those taonga will never be diminished, not by ignorance or bigotry, nor pettiness or spite. That the enduring heartbeat of our tipuna that pulses in the manawataki of every haka their descendants perform will never be stopped. E te iwi, when we stand to haka together, our tipuna hear us, as do our mokopuna. For the haka is the symbol of a noble people. E ki ana te kōrero, ko te haka he tohu whenua rangatira. The haka is a symbol of a chiefly land. The haka is a symbol of humanity. And its raw human connection is the irresistible allure that draws people to it from every corner of the world. It is the epitome of the superpower of being Māori. Let me now address the root cause of this debate. This debate is not about a haka. It is not about a suspension. It's not about the interruption of a vote. It is at its heart about the fact that this House continues to ignore Te Tiriti o Waitangi. That this House continues to ignore Māori sovereignty. And that this House continues to ignore all of the constitutional rights that flow forth from those two things. The fact of the matter is simple. Without Māori sovereignty, there is no Te Tiriti o Waitangi. Without Te Tiriti o Waitangi, there is no constitutional right for the presence of the Crown in this part of the world. And without the constitutional right, there is no Parliament. Therefore, I say to this House, you can only keep your head buried in the colonial sands of time for so long. And by the way, high tide is fast approaching. You see, deep down, under layers and layers of intergenerationally refined colonisation and assimilation, this debate is about the eternal struggle for the survival of the Māori people and the survival of those people as Māori. Tēnā koe koro. Te kākano I ruia mai I rangi Aotea. This debate is about the relentless onslaught and imposition of colonial dominance, the endless lauding of European cultural superiority, all premised on the falsehood of Māori inferiority. In the darkest recesses of its heart, this is what this debate is truly about. And after 185 years of waiting, te iwi Māori declare today that enough is enough. Kārahi, kārahi, kua rahi. Unprecedented punishment was the headline. But the punishment is not without precedent. Only weeks ago, the Privileges Committee passed another judgment on the fourth participant in this Haka Party incident, who also left their seat, who also actively aided the interruption of the voting process, who also stepped out onto the hallowed grounds of the debating chamber, who also failed to return to their seat when the Speaker was on his feet. Yet the punishment handed down did not include suspension, did not include censorship or any form of financial penalty. You see, indeed, there was a clear precedent set. When it comes time for the passing of judgment on Te Pāti Māori, the existing precedent is conveniently ignored. And for the additional crime of positioning themselves in front of the perpetrators of the actual crime, a crime that incited the largest public political backlash in this country's history, Te Pāti Māori are handed 2 21-day suspensions. A 7-day suspension.
I've got a point
for a
of
total
order.
of 49 days of suspension, censure and financial penalty. 49. Let me remind the public that the fourth participant in this very same haka received no suspension, no censure, no financial penalty whatsoever. You see, a sentence with no logic, framework or explanation is not a sentence at all. It is in fact an act of retribution. And when retribution is involved, that is not upholding justice. That is the rearing up of the ugly, insidious, heinous face of racism in all of its guises against Māori and Aotearoa in 2025. I have to ask the whole country, the public who are watching, no doubt, is this really us? Is this really us in 2025, Aotearoa, New Zealand? Is it really? So again, I say enough is enough. We're in 2025 for crying out loud and having to deal with this sort of racist attitude in this house. Everyone can see the hypocrisy. Everyone sees the equality. Everyone can see the racism. It is hardly being hidden. And so in the face of such an unprecedented attack on Tiwi Māori over the last 18 months to this current situation, it is time that we, the Māori people, took an equally unprecedented approach to remedying the historic and ongoing obfuscation of tiriti justice. It is truly a shame that we have regressed so far, so fast. This attack has been swift and unprecedented, and our response must too be swift and equally as unprecedented, the likes of which the Crown has never had to deal with before. E te iwi, there are many tools available to us, international tools, to employ in balancing and rebalancing, as the case may be, of treaty-based relationships across the world. These tools include the right of retortion, of reprisal, and even retaliation. Retortion is the right of any partner to a treaty to suspend their ongoing consent to that treaty for the ongoing failure of the other party to uphold their treaty obligations. And after 185 years, we say enough is truly enough. Ka rahi, kua rahi. E te iwi Māori, we are more powerful than we know. We are not the helpless victims in a story of colonial domination. We are the sovereign. We are the sovereign people of this land. We are the sovereign people of Aotearoa. We are the sole sovereigns of our respective territories as described in the treaty text itself. I'm reminded of a quote from Whatarangi Winiata, who said that the best way to reclaim and retain our sovereignty is to behave as if we never lost it. And these words from the great Ngāti Kahungunu leader, Moana Jackson, who said, treaties are meant to be honoured. They are not meant to be settled. So I stand here before you as an uri of the sovereign people of Ngāti Kahungunu and as a son of the sovereign people of Ngāti Kere, fully authorised to speak on their behalf and declare to this House that we enact the right of retortion and hereby suspend our ongoing agreement and consent to Te Tiriti o Waitangi for a period of 21 days. All until the Crown can remedy its continued failure to act with dignity and honour and uphold the obligations that it set for itself in Te Tiriti o Waitangi. Ngāti Kahungunu understand that this is an unfriendly action towards the Crown, but based on the last 185 years, exacerbated in the extreme by the last 18 months, we consider it a justified one. And we invite all hapu and iwi who signed Te Tiriti o Waitangi in good faith, who have been gracious and patient hosts, to join us and declare on behalf of our ancestors who worked tirelessly for us to be here today, on behalf of our tamariki and mokopuna yet to be born, that this ends here, that enough is truly enough. E te iwi Māori, ka rahi, ai rā, kua rahi. Nō reira kei ngā wā kāinga o te motu, e tū, mātike mai, maranga ke ki runga, whakamutu atu, tēnei mahi te whakapara hako i te iwi Māori ki konei tonu. Kia kaua e pā kia, ki notia, ki runga anō, ki tētahi whakatipuranga o te iwi Māori, haere ake nei, e te iwi Māori, maranga mai ki runga, kei te pika, tēnā koe, tēnā tātou, kei raro.